I was an innocent college guy with crippling social anxiety. Yet all 1.3 billion guys at my school hailed me as the godfather of romance. Some even offered a fortune, just to learn my secret to charming girls. But it all began not long ago. When I was heading to the cafeteria, I heard someone behind me say, I was too tired, so I didn't wear one today. I thought it was my friend talking. So I instinctively asked, what's wrong with this girl? Let me see. Then I turned around, met the disbelieving stares of two beautiful girls. My smile froze as I stood there. After 3 seconds of silence, my friend behind me burst out laughing. One of the girls silently folded her arms over her chest. No, listen to me explain. Fang Yuan and I had been rushing to the cafeteria, but the lunch crowd was massive. So, we could only squeeze through single file. All I could think about was whether to get cola chicken wings, sweet and sour pork, or maybe kung pao chicken. Then that complaint suddenly came from behind me. This is killing me. No. Miss, let me explain myself. No, forget that. Let me explain properly. The problem was, whenever I faced a humiliating scene, my face and neck would flush crimson. Then the hungry crowd shoved me from behind, and I completely froze up. I couldn't force out a single word. I could only yank my collar over my head and race up the stairs like my life depended on it, afraid to meet those girls' eyes for another second. When I finally reached the serving counter, rattled and upset, I ordered all 3 meat dishes, without a single vegetable. If I hadn't been so obsessed with this food, I wouldn't have made such a fool of myself in public. I wanted to cry, but no tears would come. As I carried my tray, shoveling food into my mouth, while grumpily making my way out, I looked up, and of course, I saw those 2 pretty girls again. Our eyes met head-on. Terrified, I quickly used my hand to cover my face completely. The girl across from me had a faint blush rise to her cheeks too, and she nervously turned away. When Fang Yuan found me with his lunch tray, he flashed a wicked grin and teased, Spatula, you've got guts. Flirting with girls right in public. The second he mentioned it, my face started burning again. I hurriedly protested. I didn't. Stop talking nonsense. I really thought you were the one mumbling behind me. Fine, I was talking nonsense. But seriously, those 2 girls were gorgeous. Did you see them? I could only pretend I was starving and frantically stuff my face. Seeing that, Fang Yuan wisely shut up. The days passed, and I gradually put that humiliating fiasco behind me. Then, just before the National Day holiday, I took a job attending class for someone else. The client even thoughtfully arranged for her roommate to cover for me. When I slipped into the classroom and found the agreed seat, a girl gave me a slight nod. I sighed in relief and swaggered over. The moment I sat down, I was stunned. Holy crap, wasn't this the girl from the cafeteria stairs? The one I had mistakenly flirted with, thinking she was Fang Yuan. I stood rigidly frozen for a full 3 seconds, until the professor walked to the podium with his books. Only then did I hurriedly drop into my seat. Then suddenly, I sensed something else was wrong. Something about this was fishy. I quickly pulled out my phone and opened my chat with the client to confront her. Why is your roommate a girl? The person on the other side, with a cute boy avatar, replied as if it were obvious. I am a girl, obviously. Come on, miss, don't mess with me. Spatula, I'm a real man. My fingers shook so hard as I typed they were nearly a blur. And just then, the professor shouted from the podium, class rep, take attendance, and see whether everyone's here. When I heard he was calling for the class rep, I immediately relaxed, until the professor impatiently called out again, where's the class rep? Where did they go? Only then did the girl beside me seem to snap out of it. Her fingers stopped typing blindly on her phone, and she jabbed me hard with her elbow. In a low voice, she reminded me, class rep, the professor wants you to do your job. What the hell? My client was the class rep herself, yet she had the nerve to hire someone to attend class for her. No wonder, from every direction, so many entertained eyes suddenly turned toward me. I laughed in fury and snorted twice. Resigned to my fate, I pulled a mask from my pocket and put it on. Every inch of me radiated despair. I forced myself to stand. I'm the acting class rep today. I'll take attendance. The professor scratched his thinning hair and muttered, you take turns being class rep in this class. The room instantly erupted with roof-shaking laughter. I wanted the floor to swallow me whole. I finally survived the endless roll call. Before my seat had even warmed up, the professor asked a question, and the class went deathly silent. With a wave of his hand, he said, Since no one's speaking, the class rep can answer. I stared at the projection screen, at the dense, alien-looking code, and my head started buzzing, just as I was about to fake a couple of coughs and claim I had a sore throat. The girl beside me suddenly stood. "Professor, I'll solve this one. The class rep's throat isn't feeling well today." After she got me out of that mess and sat down, I was so moved I nearly burst into tears. "Thank you so much." She gave a slight shake of her head. "It's okay. By the way, let me introduce myself. I'm Mikai. My best friend. Really had an emergency at the last minute. So, she desperately took the first option she found. She didn't even check whether you were a man or a woman. I'm really sorry." That best friend's name was Su Xiaoyan. The National Day break was about to start, and this was the last class before the holiday. The going rate for class stand-ins had skyrocketed. I was so tempted by that generous fee. I completely forgot to check the client's gender. When all was said and done, I had no one to blame but myself. Fine, whatever. I'll chalk it up to bad luck. Still, I was grinding my teeth in anger. The fact that she was the class rep herself. Did she somehow forget to mention that too? If she told me beforehand that she was the class rep, even with a knife to my throat, I never would have taken this lousy job. Mikai awkwardly rubbed the tip of her nose. She probably really forgot, she mumbled. But I couldn't let this slide. I quietly unlocked my phone and opened my chat with Su Xiaoyan. I viciously typed 3 words, "Pay me more." The typing indicator blinked for ages. Finally, she sent a reluctant concession. Once we'd settled on my compensation, I turned to apologize to Mikai. "I'm truly sorry. I honestly didn't mean to offend you at the cafeteria that day. I really thought my buddy was rambling behind me. I swear it's the truth. Please, you have to believe me. I absolutely wasn't trying to take liberties with you." I staked my character on it. I held her gaze and lowered my voice, my tone brimming with sincerity. Mikai looked up at me. Her delicate hands rested on her textbook, her fingertips absently brushing the paper's edge. "I understand. I didn't take it to heart." With that, she lowered her head again and focused on taking notes. But beneath her falling hair, a faint, barely noticeable blush crept across her face. I stared boredly at the blackboard, listening as the professor occasionally rattled off obscure terms. My head was buzzing with pain. With a sigh, I thought, better not disturb the top student while she studied. So, I had let my mind wander. Class far from over, but my backpack was already zipped, ready for a mad dash. The second the bell rang, I'd sprint like it was a 100-meter race. My eyes stayed glued to the clock on the wall, and I was already bursting with joy inside. Glorious, carefree 7-day holiday. I'm coming for you. And when I counted up the little nest egg I'd built from covering classes, I had enough to splurge comfortably. As the second hand ticked on, only 3 minutes remained until freedom. I was ready to bolt for my high-speed train. Then, at that critical moment, an abrupt notification sound exploded like thunder in the deathly silent classroom. Alipay payment received, 80 yuan. Every student turned to look at me. Even the professor at the podium fixed his eyes on me. The hand clutching my backpack froze in midair. Damn it. Why had I forgotten to mute my notifications? Even putting that aside, was Su Xiaoyan trying to make trouble on purpose? Would it have killed her to send it 3 minutes later? After tearfully enduring 3 minutes of what felt like a public execution, the dismissal bell finally rang like music from heaven. I was finally free, slumped into the soft seat of the high-speed train. The joy inside me swelled like a balloon. Watching the scenery race past outside, I was so happy I wanted to break into song. The train smoothly pulled out of the station. A train attendant pushed a cart down the aisle, handing out free candy. I had my headphones on, eyes closed, lost in the music. By the time I noticed and instinctively reached out, she had already pushed the cart into the next carriage. My hand was left hanging there, awkwardly and alone, in front of the passenger beside me, just as I regretfully prepared to pull my hand back in embarrassment. A fruit candy, still warm from someone's palm, gently landed in my hand. I reflexively closed my fingers around it and glanced to the side. It was a girl. She wore a black face mask, but her frame was small and slender. A few strands of hair half veiled her eyes and brows. She wore a soft white cotton t-shirt with an effortlessly neat, crisp air about her. She was as refreshing as a summer breeze. The wrist she'd extended was white as snow, with long fingers and neatly rounded nails. Her exposed, gently upturned eyes curved like crescents, shining with light. The moment our eyes met, I felt my heart skip a beat. Oh, My God, the mask covered most of her face. But sometimes you can simply tell when someone's beautiful, and I could tell, clear as day. My heart was throwing a wild dance party in my chest. How was there such a stunning goddess sitting beside me? And nobody had warned me. I snatched my hand back as if shocked. I was so nervous my tongue nearly tied itself in knots. Thanks for the candy. Her eyes curved in a smile. If you like it, I'll buy you more next time. There was going to be a next time. I stared at her in stunned confusion. Looking at her, her long lashes fluttered twice in confusion. Have we met before? The girl across from me smiled even more brightly, far warmer than her earlier faint smile. Her eyes and brows curved into lovely crescents. My face instantly burned. I awkwardly cleared my throat. Only then did she slowly remove her mask. Lowering her eyes, she softly laughed and said, "Didn't we just run into each other earlier? Spatula, have you forgotten me already?" There was a hint of teasing humor in her voice. A flawless, delicate face suddenly filled my vision. Pathetically, I swallowed. I guessed she was beautiful, but I never imagined she could be this gorgeous. The first time we met in the cafeteria, that embarrassing mix-up had left me too ashamed to get a proper look at her. The second time, in class, she was sitting perfectly upright beside me. I couldn't exactly stare at her openly. Only now did I finally get a clear look at her face. She was exactly my type, down to the last detail. What a coincidence. Taking the same high-speed train was one thing, but our seats were right next to each other. Good heavens, what kind of magical plot was this? This had to be fate. Wait, what did she say her name was? If I confessed now that I'd forgotten, would she kill me? Forget it. Better change the subject. Where are you headed? Chuncheng. I'm going back to Chuncheng too. What a coincidence. Which high school did you attend? Chuncheng no. To high school. I nearly jumped up in excitement. I graduated from Chuncheng no. To 2. How had I never run into you at school? Mikai explained that there were so many people at school. It was normal that we'd never crossed paths. That was true enough. Since we're both from Chuncheng, let's add each other on WeChat. We can head back to school together after the break. I'd been racking my brains, trying to figure out how to ask for her contact information. I never expected her to make the first move. Of course I said yes. I flashed her a grin and accepted her friend request at lightning speed. To preserve my cool guy image, I forced myself to resist. Right in front of her, the urge to open her moments and snoop through them. When I finally threw myself onto the soft bed at home, I finally had time to scroll through every last post on Mikai's moments. I was practically drooling. Heh. I never would have guessed. Mikai might be petite, but she had quite a figure. Her rank in honor of kings was impressive too. The rest were everyday posts about petting cats and playing with dogs. Her moments were only visible for the past month, so that was all there was to see. Still, judging by that 1 month, she posted quite frequently. Some days, she'd post several updates in a row. I looked for a shared interest to start with, then slowly typed, "You play Honor of Kings too?" She replied almost instantly, "Yeah, I do." A few seconds later, she sent an invitation of her own. "Want to play together?" That was exactly what I wanted to hear. I logged in at once, added her as a game friend, and pulled her into my team lobby. Just then, at the top of my screen, a friend began frantically spamming requests to join. I hit decline several times in a row, but my hand slipped on the last one, and I hit accept. A bright female voice instantly rang through my headset. "Spatula, you're home for the holiday break. How about tomorrow we go shopping together?" All I could think about was having a sweet little duo match with Mikai. So I hadn't been prepared for this girl at all. She had changed her profile picture and username again. I was about to ask Mikai whether she minded if I brought a friend into the game, but she turned on her microphone first. "I'm in Chuncheng too. You don't mind if I join, do you?" Of course not. I was so happy my grin nearly reached my ears. But Ruyan, on the other side of the screen, frowned slightly. She awkwardly changed the subject. "Spatula, start the match already. I'll jungle this round and carry you both." Liu Ryan was still a long-suffering high schooler. She only got to use her phone during school breaks. When it came time to pick heroes, she had first pick and locked in Ma Chao without hesitation. Mikai quietly picked a marksman. After hesitating for a moment, Liu Ryan sweetly said, "Spatula, just pick Yao and hitch a right on me. Watch me slaughter the enemy and carry you both." No problem. As soon as the match began, I stuck to Liu Ryan like glue. I never even noticed when Mikai quietly muted her microphone. While Ruyan dominated the battlefield, she chatted idly with me as she racked up kills, until the enemy teams, marksmen and support in the bottom lane, began mocking Mikai in the public chat. Mikai didn't say a word. She kept farming cautiously under the bottom turret. My temper couldn't take it anymore. I decisively abandoned Ma Zhao. Sorry, buddy. Mikai's been awfully quiet. I'm going to help her. Mikai quickly typed, it's okay. You should stay with Ma Zhao. I can handle it alone. Really, I'm fine farming solo. See, I'm defending this turret just fine. So what if they've pressured me so hard I can't leave the turret? So what if they've insulted me a little? I'm really fine, Spatula. Ma Zhao needs you more right now. Just let me endure the pressure in bottom lane alone. The more understanding she was, the worse I felt. It was bad enough that I brought an outsider into our team without asking. And now I was leaving Mikai alone in bottom lane. What kind of man did that make me? This was bad enough that if I woke up in the middle of the night, I'd have to slap myself twice. Ruyan's skills were incredible. She didn't need my help at all. Having a support made no difference to her. Isn't that right, Ruyan? Ruyan gritted her teeth on the other end. Right? I can manage perfectly well on my own. Spatula, don't worry whether I live or die. Since you put it that way, then I really won't worry about you. Without a shred of guilt, I ran off to support Mikai. And while I was at it, I flamed the enemy team right back for her. Ruyan could only stay in the jungle, miserably farming jungle monsters, with me as her personal support. Mikai stopped playing so cautiously. She claimed kill after kill, then took down the enemy's second bottom turret. The match soon reached the middle and late stages. We began roaming the map to support our teammates. I watched with my own eyes as Mikai went all out, claiming triple kills and quadra kills one after another. When our teammates saw that, they charged in like they'd been given a shot of adrenaline. We wiped out the enemy team in one fight and destroyed their crystal in one push. In a fit of spite, Ruyan had gotten the Overlord halfway down. Now she stood alone in the dragon pit, not knowing how to react. The moment the match ended, I lavishly praised Mikai. I never would have guessed. You're amazing at this game. Before she could respond, Ruyan gave a heavy huff over the microphone. Spatula, you've had a change of heart. You don't dote on me anymore. After saying that, she instantly left the team and logged off. I was completely baffled. Why was this little girl throwing another tantrum for no reason? I was still debating whether I should go soothe that little princess. But if I went to comfort her, wouldn't that leave things awkward with Mikai? But Mikai seemed able to read my mind. She saw right through me. Go check on her. Teenagers tend to have short fuses. Just humor her, and she'll be fine. Alright, I'll take your advice. See you tomorrow. Before I could send a comforting message, Ruyan bombarded me with accusations. Spatula, you've really changed. All you see now is someone else. There's no room for me in your heart anymore, is there? You even helped her insult them? Is she mute? Can't she talk back herself? She was obviously playing pitiful to win your sympathy. For her, you don't even care about me anymore. Sob. Can't you see how vulnerable I am inside? You just abandoned me like that. Do you know how badly that hurts? And you kept praising her. Sob. Spatula, when you used to play games with me, you never let anyone else join our team. The tears in the little girl's voice grew heavier. I couldn't have been more unfairly accused. I hurriedly called her. I clearly arranged a duo with Mikai first. I only let you in because I tapped the wrong button. Of course, that honest truth was something I would never dare say aloud. Instead, she cried even harder. The moment you had time off, you didn't come play with me. You went looking for her instead. The moment I logged in, I was thinking of sending you coins and flowers. And what did I get? I found you duo queuing with another woman. How could you betray my feelings like this? Sob. You're about to start your final year of high school. How could I dare drag you into gaming every day? What if it interfered with your college prep? Those are all excuses. Ruyan sniffled as she argued back. Then whenever I applied to join your team, why did you keep rejecting me? Do you know how many times I applied? 6 times. A whole 6 times. That hit me right where it hurt. Oh no. There was no soothing this little princess today. In the end, she had probably cried herself hoarse. At last, she mercifully prepared to hang up. Tomorrow, I'm going to meet that little vixen and see what she looks like. How could she have you so completely bewitched? I spent half the day coaxing and pleading with her. Yet why was she still so fixated on Mikai? When we met up the next day, Besides Mikai and Ruyan, I had invited several of my closest buddies too. The moment Mikai appeared, Ruyan pounced on her like a cat with its fur raised. She looked Mikai over from head to toe, as though she could bore a hole through her with her stare. I quickly pulled her back. Then I smoothed things over with Mikai. This is Ruyan. She's the girl who played with us last night. Ruyan pouted indignantly. Who are you calling a little girl? I'm only 2 years younger than you. Spatula, I'm already an adult. Her little mouth fired away like a machine gun. I quickly cut her off before she could keep going. Yes. Our Ruyan is a grown woman now. Didn't we agree to ride bumper cars? Come on, let's go. The bumper cars had been her idea. Since I'd upset her last night, I couldn't exactly refuse her now. All I could do was repeatedly tell her to be careful. But the moment we reached the bumper car track, she started causing trouble again and went to provoke Mikai. I heard Spatula brag that you're amazing at bumper cars. I've even got a ride ready for you. Pick whichever one you like. Do you dare compete with me? Don't tell me you're scared. Hold it. When did I ever say Mikai was some bumper car champion? That brat was a walking disaster. Just as I was about to pull rank as her big brother and give her a proper scolding, Mikai unexpectedly accepted the challenge. Why wouldn't I dare? Since we're already here, I'll play with you. I grabbed her arm. Don't listen to Ruyan's nonsense. I never said anything like that. If you don't want to ride, then we won't. We'll just watch from the side. Then I shot Ruyan a fierce glare. Guiltily, she turned her face away. Mikai's voice was calm and cool. It's fine. I wanted to give it a try myself. Spatula, you heard her clearly. She agreed to it herself. Afraid Mikai might change her mind, Ruyan dragged her off to put on protective gear. She even turned back and winked at me. Spatula, just relax. Watch me win first prize for you. Consider it my apology. Whenever this group got together to compete, they always put up a prize to make things interesting. The money for the prize was split among the last place finishers. Ruyan had finally gotten a break, so she called in a whole crowd of bumper car fanatics. The girl really had some skill at this. She often won little prizes. But at that moment, my heart was focused entirely on Mikai. I could not tell whether she was truly skilled or just forcing herself to save face. I just hoped nothing went wrong. The thought left me on edge. Anxiously, I watched Mikai climb into the driver's seat. She seemed to notice my worried gaze. She glanced back, revealing only her captivating eyes. She gave me a gesture that said, "I've got this." Then she slipped neatly into the car. At the referee's signal, the race began. Ruyan hit the gas and took the lead. She shot ahead like an arrow. Mikai's car, meanwhile, held steady in third place. Seeing that, my racing heart finally settled. So, she knew what she was doing. Halfway through the race, Ruyan still held first place. I was already wondering what unusual prize was up for grabs this time. But then Mikai's car suddenly accelerated like a rocket. With a beautiful drift, she passed second place. Then she locked onto Ruyan's tail. The distance between them kept shrinking. Ruyan caught the alarming sight in her rearview mirror. She gritted her teeth and floored it, trying to open up a safe lead again. The mood off the track ignited in an instant, with cheers erupting everywhere. But I could not help frowning. No matter how many times I had watched races like this, I still held my breath every time. I was terrified Ruyan might get hurt. This time, I had one more person to worry about. Mikai and Ruyan chased each other around the track, neither willing to yield. Through one sharp turn after another, they left every other racer far behind. Finally, at the last wide turn before the finish line, Mikai seized her chance. She made a perfect inside pass around Ruyan. Then she sped away, crossing the finish line first. Mikai had actually taken first place. The result completely stunned me. Ruyan jumped out of her car, fuming. She stayed stone-faced and silent throughout. This time, the prize was an exquisitely crafted watch. Mikai accepted it and walked straight over to me. She was still wearing that slightly bulky racing suit, but it could not hide her slender figure. She had removed her helmet, leaving her flawless, breathtaking face fully exposed to the open air. With the glow of victory still around her, she drew the eyes of plenty of nearby guys. A few bold ones even came over to ask for her WeChat. She politely, but distantly turned down every one of them. Yet at that moment, she held the prize she had just won out to me. Lowering her eyes slightly, she softly asked, "Do you want to try it on? But you won this fair and square. If you like it, it's yours." When she said that, Her tone was as natural as if she were asking, "Nice weather today, isn't it?" I stared deep into her eyes. In those clear pupils, I could clearly see my own reflection. Her features were as exquisite as a painting. Her gaze held a trace of an indescribable tenderness. I felt as if I were drowning in her spring-like eyes. Ruyan watched the whole scene from the side. She gave a loud huff. When neither of us paid her any attention, she stepped closer. Then she huffed again, even louder. The romantic tension in the air was shattered in an instant. I looked at this little troublemaker, caught between laughter and tears. "I hear you. I hear you. Who would dare ignore you? Nobody even came to check on me. You heartless jerk." I walked over, unable to resist teasing her. "So, Ryan, did you get bumped or hurt anywhere? You did not get first place. Are you going to hide and cry again?" She proudly lifted her little chin. "This young lady is not that fragile. And Spatula, stop treating me like a 3-year-old. I outgrew crying ages ago. I wonder who it was last night, who sobbed through tears and snot as she accused me. She always insisted she was all grown up. Yet more than anyone else, she wanted to be pampered and coaxed like a child." I could not hold it in and burst out laughing. My thoughts drifted back to when I first met her. She had been a little elementary school girl with a backpack. She was alone in the apartment stairwell, curled up and wiping away tears. I followed the sound of her crying. I thought some neighborhood bully had picked on a child. Only after asking did I learn her parents had broken their promise. They had not made it back to celebrate her birthday. In a fit of anger, the little girl had run away from home. But she was too scared to wander beyond the apartment complex. She had not even dared step outside the gate. Little Ruyan sobbed so hard she could barely breathe. She said, "Does a late birthday still count as a birthday? If your parents cannot be there for you, then your big brother will celebrate with you." With tears streaming down her face, little Ruyan looked up at me pitifully. "But there is not even a birthday cake." Without another word, I ran home and gritted my teeth. I smashed open the piggy bank I had saved for so long. I bought her the prettiest cake. I even picked out a gift. Then I took her straight to Haidalau Hot Pot. A group of servers gathered around her and cheerfully sang happy birthday. Only then did little Ruyan's dull eyes light up again. After that, she constantly called me Big Brother. She followed me around every day like my little shadow. So I became her personal protector every day, walking her to and from school. She told me her parents were always busy with work. I was the only big brother willing to spend time with her, without thinking she was a nuisance. The thing she said to me most often was, "Spatula is the best big brother in the whole world. Spatula, if I have anything good, I will give it all to you." My thoughts gradually returned to the present. Ryan glanced at the watch, then gave another disdainful snort. I thought it was some priceless treasure. "Spatula, if you really like it, I'll buy you 10 of them in bulk." I knew this little brat always meant what she said, so I quickly nipped that dangerous idea in the bud. I quickly grabbed her. I gave Ruyan a stern look, warning her not to cause more trouble. Only then did she fall silent, looking deeply wronged. Later, we all went out for a great meal. Then we played an escape room game. Over the next few days, our group got together every day and played like crazy. As our vacation was quickly running out, we picked a scenic spot for a camping barbecue. Everyone gathered in a lively circle. Some tended the skewers on the grill, while others played guitar and sang. The evening breeze brushed over our faces, bringing a hint of coolness. Cicadas sang from the dense trees in the distance. We were living the good life. Mikai held out sizzling, grease-dripping meat skewers to us. I casually thanked her, but Ruyan came over with a miserable expression. "Spatula, once you leave this time, it will be a long time before I see you again. Do not get all sentimental yet. Have you finished that mountain of homework? I caught up on it ages ago. Spatula, you just do not believe in my skills." Indignantly, she grabbed a skewer of meat and took a fierce bite. I had no idea which poor fool brought over an entire case of beer. The moment I looked away, Ruyan had drunk herself dizzy. "Spatula, is there a girl you like now?" Before I could answer, she mysteriously leaned close to my ear again and murmured in a low voice, "I think Mikai is probably into you. Do not let her charm you." She thought she had lowered her voice, but in truth, everyone nearby heard every word. Mikai's hand visibly trembled around her paper cup. She shot us a flustered glance. My face burned with embarrassment too, just as I was about to scold her, telling her to quit talking nonsense. Ruyan suddenly tilted her head and promptly fell fast asleep. All right, So, you are leaving your big brother here to be embarrassed for you? Luckily, Mikai had driven here herself. The two of us supported Ruyan, drunk senseless, and headed out first. Only after the car had gone a fair distance did I clear my throat and explain. Ruyan drank too much and was talking nonsense. Please do not take it to heart. I know she is still childish. When it comes down to it, it was because of me that she was so hostile toward you at first. I am really sorry. I apologize on her behalf. Mikai smiled slightly. It is all right. I understand how she feels. But the rest was too quiet. Even sitting right beside her, I could not make out what she muttered. I could only force myself to ask, "What did you say after that?" "Nothing. I was just curious too. Is there someone you like now?" She kept her eyes fixed on the road ahead, her hands resting casually on the wheel. Every now and then, she lightly turned the wheel halfway. From where I sat, I could see her long lashes flutter faintly. Her shifting gaze carried an indescribable allure. The window was half open. The night wind tousled the loose strands over her forehead, and she casually tucked them behind her ear. Again and again, I found myself watching her in a daze. After receiving no answer for a while, she turned slightly to look at me. Her throat bobbed. She made a soft, questioning hum. Her sudden closeness nearly left us face to face. Startled, I quickly straightened up. I stammered, trying to brush it off. I am not sure myself. I gave her an ambiguous answer. She tactfully did not press me further. After settling Ruyan in her room, I walked Mikai all the way to the complex gate. We agreed to take the high-speed train back to school together tomorrow afternoon. When I turned back, I saw Ruyan acting as if nothing had happened, waiting for me downstairs. She even stretched luxuriously. There was not a trace of drunken confusion left. I laughed in exasperation. "Ruyan, were you showing off your acting skills for us?" She stuck to me like glue and whined, "Spatula, I just cannot bear to part with you. It will be so long before we meet again. I just wanted you back early, so we could talk alone. Besides, I wanted to test what Mikai really feels for you." I shot her an annoyed look. "So, what did your little test reveal?" Ruyan smugly stroked her chin. "I really did figure it out. She definitely likes you. Did you not see how nervous she was? She made 100 nervous little gestures a second to hide it. She was obviously trying to seduce you. How did I not notice any of that?" She sighed like a world-weary adult. "You are too close to see it. Spatula, you were just as nervous as she was." My heart suddenly skipped a beat. I stubbornly said, "Quit talking nonsense." Ruyan hit the nail on the head. "Spatula, you are completely blinded by her beauty." She hit a sore spot, and I stormed off in embarrassment. She quickly grabbed me. Sorry. I know I was wrong, okay, Spatula? Just play 2 more rounds with me. Spatula, please. I had never been able to resist her spoiled pleas. Before long, most of my anger had faded. I happily curled up on her sofa, ready to game together. The instant I logged in, I saw Mikai was online too. That would not normally be a big deal. But Ruyan was supposed to be passed out drunk in bed. Yet she was wide awake, in the same room as me. Sharp-eyed Ruyan immediately spotted someone inviting me to a team. She leaned over and saw the username, then instantly pouted in displeasure. "Why is she everywhere? Spatula, you promised me you would only play with me tonight. Do not invite her." I did not. I definitely did not. I hurriedly exited the game screen and sent Mikai a long message explaining everything. Only then did I log back in and team up with Ruyan. That was when she finally beamed. "Spatula, I will play Yao this round. I will support you." I could not help teasing her. "Why are you not bragging about carrying me this time?" Her. "I just want to play Yao. I can stay attached to you the whole time." That mischievous girl. Helplessly, I picked a marksman. Not until late that night, when she could no longer fight her sleepiness, did she mercifully let me go home. By then, my eyelids were drooping, but I noticed an unread message on WeChat. Forcing myself awake, I opened it and saw it was from Mikai. "Get some rest early. Good night." I quickly replied, "Good night." To my surprise, she replied instantly, "Okay, then I am going to sleep." The next day, on our high-speed train ride back to school, she left for a little while. When she returned, she handed me several packs of coconut candy. Only then did I suddenly remember. She had said she would buy me some next time. I never thought she had taken that joking promise to heart. As for the candy she gave me last time, I still treated it like a treasure, keeping it in my bag, unable to bear eating it. We each unwrapped one and popped it into our mouths. Its sweet and tart flavor, mingled with a rich milky fragrance, slowly spread through our mouths. I watched the scenery rushing past outside the window, and images rose unbidden in my mind of when Mikai and I first met. We had known each other only a few days, yet being together felt as natural, as if we had been friends forever. I could not help dwelling again on Ruyan's words, "She likes you." But how could that be possible? I did not dare explore that thought further. I decided it was best to let things unfold naturally. When vacation ended and we returned to campus, our lives returned to their usual rhythm. We went to class and lived day by day. But the connection between Mikai and me never faded. Perhaps it was because we were both from Chungcheong. We always had endless shared topics to discuss. Sometimes she invited me out. Sometimes I shamelessly asked her out. We also regularly teamed up to play games. I thought our days would continue this quietly and beautifully. Until New Year's Eve, we stood side by side in the square, watching balloons fill the sky as they slowly rose into the night. She suddenly turned and looked steadily at me. "Can I pursue you?" she said. "I like you. I do not want to keep using the hollow label of friendship to stay by your side. I did not tell you from the start, because I was afraid you would think I was frivolous and easy." Mikai was visibly nervous. She stared intently into my eyes. "After spending this time together, what do you think of me? Can I try to pursue you? You do not have to give me an answer right now. If this truly makes you uncomfortable, or if you never want anything to do with me again, you can tell me honestly. I will never shamelessly keep bothering you." The crowd around us was deafeningly loud, but as she said those words, it felt as though I had been pulled into a world sealed off just for the two of us. I gazed deeply into her eyes and stayed silent for a long time. In the end, all I could manage was, "Then I will think about it." It was not that I feared she had ulterior motives. I was just worried that her beauty had clouded my judgment, and I was acting on impulse. Later, I agreed to let her pursue me, because I had to be honest with myself. Whatever the reason, I had truly fallen for her. Since I liked her, and she happened to like me too, why should we not give each other a chance to try? I casually mentioned that I liked flowers, and she started bringing me flowers every other day. But in the end, I was the one who finally confessed. Everyone has the right to express their love, and the chance to fight for happiness. I did not want my youth to leave behind even the slightest regret. She clearly had not expected me to confess first. Holding something in her hands, she trembled with excitement. Stunned, she asked again, "Spatula, what did you just say?" Smiling, I took out the gift I had prepared and held it out to her. It was a delicate pair of matching necklaces. I said solemnly, "I like you. Will you be my girlfriend?" She nodded eagerly again and again. She eagerly picked up the necklaces to inspect them. The next second, while she was completely absorbed, I suddenly leaned in. I gently kissed her fair cheek. I had meant to aim for her soft red lips, but I lost my nerve at the last moment. I only dared kiss her cheek. Her face instantly flushed all the way to her ears. We looked at each other, then broke into laughter. The necklace in her hand swayed softly with her laughter. Veiled by the night, they reflected a gentle silver-white glow. From then on, she wore that necklace around her neck every day. She said it was a testament to our love's first bloom. After we officially started dating, she still could not break her habit of giving me flowers. My roommates teased. Our dorm room is about to become a botanical garden. I tried every way I could to convince her not to spend so much on me. Only then did she stop. Instead, every now and then, she came up with other little romantic gestures. During winter break, she hurried over to find me at my apartment complex. At the time, we were holding hands, being all lovey-dovey as we talked, when Ruyan, who had come downstairs to take out the trash, happened to catch us red-handed. Ruyan's eyes went wide as saucers, pointing at the two of us. She was so shocked she could barely get the words out. "You two, in daylight, out in the open. What shameful thing are you two doing?" I looked up at the bright moon overhead and fell into deep thought. We were openly dating. We were only holding hands. But after she shouted like that, she made it seem as though I really were doing something sneaky and shameful. Ruyan threw down the trash bag and stomped over toward us. "Spatula, how did that vixen still manage to seduce you away?" Seeing our hands still clasped tightly together, she looked deeply wronged as she forcibly pried our hands apart. I gave a helpless smile and obediently let go. I called her name, Ruyan. Her eyes brimmed with tears. She looked at me pitifully. "Spatula, Now that you have a girlfriend, are you going to forget your little sister? Will you stop caring about me? What nonsense are you talking about? You will always be my little sister. Then what is she to you? Mikai smiled and patted her shoulder. From now on, I will cherish you like my own little sister too. Ruyan pursed her lips, unimpressed. Who wants to be your little sister? She turned back to look at me expectantly. Spatula, will you still play duo games with me? I quickly soothed her. Of course I will. In my heart, you will always have a special place. Only then did Ruyan smile through her tears. So, where are you planning to have fun now? You have to take me with you. Mikai, standing beside us, rolled her eyes, looking utterly wronged. Hey? Humoring a child really takes energy. Many years after we got together, whenever Mikai thought back to that scene, she would sulk, jealous, and hurt for ages. Imitating my tone, she would say sarcastically, "You will always have a special place in my heart." What about me? Which forgotten corner of your heart did you stick me in? I pulled her into my arms and kissed her hard. Of course you are in my heart too. Mikai drew out a long, teasing "oh." Your heart is quite spacious. It holds a lot of people. Out of options, I could only hold her and kiss her again. How could you possibly be the same? You are the most important person in my heart. Mikai took the lead and kissed me back, but she still would not let it go. How am I important? Go on, tell me all about it. Even at the ends of the earth, love cannot end. Only longing lingers through my dreams.